Hello gals and guys, me Skeledevil here, and welcome back to yet another episode of Cursage Gaming. This time, we're reading a mindfuck creepypasta titled, The Scariest Video Game Ever Made. If you don't know what a mindfuck creepypasta is, then you're about as clueless as Ultrade and Zobriar. Without further ado, let's find out what the scariest video game ever made is. So it starts out with an unnamed storyteller, who I will be referring to as Player, telling the reader how he or she just finished playing one of the scariest video games ever made. The player then proceeds to tell us how big his or her cock is by telling the readers that he or she has played many survival horror games and saw many horror films in their time. The only things that got the player a little frightened were some parts of Penumbra, Condemned, and Amnesia. According to the player, this game was very different. The player then proceeds to go in-depth into the details of the game. It immediately throws you into the gameplay with zero backstory. The character you play as is a mad cannibal that escaped from a mental hospital. Due to the crazed nature of the character, the walls of the hospital turned into a dark, dank maze, with the only light being the walls, which, according to the player, glowed a deathly blue. Oh man, I can't tell what video game this is based off of. The writing in this is just so mind-boggling. It's genius, I tell you guys and gals. Genius. The controls of the game are on par with RE6's, in that it's very difficult to control your character. All you could do was make him turn abruptly, similar to how you move around in RE6. Did I mention how bad RE6's controls were? The cannibal that you play as grabs whatever's in front of him or her and eats it. I'd assume like how Ultrade does on a daily basis, or Zobriar whenever he or she sees red meat. The enemies of the game are ghost monsters. The player describes them as hideous and fucking scary. Once you are caught by them, they tear you limb from limb and then you die. There are special items that let you eat the 4 hideous and fucking scary ghost monsters. Upon eating the 4 hideous and fucking scary ghost monsters, the only thing that's left is their eyes. The player concludes this terrifying story by saying, "There aren't any words to describe how horrific and terrifying this game is, and I don't want to spoil the surprises for you. Just go ahead and try it for yourself. Google the word Pac-Man, and you'll find it on the first search. That is all." Oh man, who saw that one coming? I know I didn't. The excellent writing provided by the author really kept me guessing. Also, the way the author describes the horrific and violent details of the game were really off-putting and really disturbed me to the point of tears. Now, despite all the good things about this story, there is one major gripe that I have for it. It's the fact that the player did not find the RE3 remake scary. I mean, I'd be pretty terrified if I pre-ordered the game the day it was announced and paid the full $60 price for it and received the disgusting pile of shit of a game. All in all, this was still a pretty good creepypasta, and the mindfucked aspect really added to its absolute brilliance, and I highly recommend you give it a read. Links are in the description down below. This has been another episode of Cursage Gaming, and if you liked what you saw, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. This is me, Skeledevil, and